Well, there's 5 minutes off my life I'll never get back because the microphone wasn't switched on. But how's it going, freak shows? And last week I had a conversation with an old client of mine, and I feel like what we spoke about and his situation he's currently in is probably applicable to a lot of you guys, and I feel like it's something that a lot of you guys do need to hear, whether you do realise it or not. Before I get into it though, make sure you like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. It takes you 2 seconds and you're going to support me giving you more unbelievable videos like the one you're about to watch. So this client I worked with at the tail end of last year for a few months, and he made really good progress. He'd went from just kind of going in the gym, doing a bit of this and doing a bit of that with no real structure, not any real strategy or a clue what he was doing when it was coming to his nutrition, and we turned all that around, got him making more progress than he ever had before, got him building lean muscle, tightening up his physique and being a hell of a lot stronger, and just overall having a much better understanding of how you need to train and diet. So that took him to a point where he felt like he could go off on his own and keep his training and his progress going, and felt like he was now in a good place, and again had sped up probably another year or two's worth of trial and error in the space of a few months. And that would have been great if that's how the story finished. He sent me a message and he said, "Hey mate, just wondering if you know if there's any app that I can use to track all my lifting numbers and my nutrition numbers, because since I stopped you, I've not been doing it because I use an app when he worked with me and he doesn't have access to the app anymore, and I've kind of lost quite a lot of progress and I need to try and knuckle back down before I move away to Dubai the next year." So I replied to him and I said, you can just probably get a Google Sheets spreadsheet set up where you can just like track all your lifts over your sets, and it's just really simple and effective. It's what I used to do before I started using my coaching app. He went, "Thanks mate." He says, "Another question." He said, "I'm just wondering what sort of calories I should be eating just now, because I'm somewhere in the 80 kilos and I just want to trim down a little bit and obviously get building muscle again, so I'm just wondering like what I should be eating." And obviously I replied saying, "I can't really give you an answer because I don't know what you've currently been eating, and obviously I don't know your body weight and such." I said, "But when it comes to the protein, which as I taught you before, that's your first protocol," I says, "just try and aim for 2 grams for every kilo of body weight." I says, "But if you are really struggling, they are quite shite." I says, "But you can go online and find a calorie calculator that'll give you like a rough answer as a starting point, and then obviously when you start tracking your weight again and your calories, you can use that to work out you know, what your maintenance is and put it in the position that you want it to be in." He says, "Brilliant, thanks, I'll go and look that up." He says, "Another question." He said, "I'm just wondering if you know anywhere I can get a good gym program, because I've not really been following anything the last few months and I've just kind of been going in and doing whatever, and I want to try and get a bit of structure back again, because when I worked with you before and had that structure, that's when I made the most progress. So I want to try and get back to that." And I was like, "Well, I mean, there's programs literally everywhere. You look on the internet." I says, "You can probably just do a Google search and find one." I said, "But you've obviously had the program that we've used before, and obviously that kind of system that we use, and you were taught at the time how to, you know, swap things in and out that system and how I would swap things in and out for you. So, you know, you can maybe use that as a base and then just tweak the exercises a little bit." I says, "And there's a program for you, there you go, that you know is going to get you progress." He went, "Oh brilliant, that's thanks, I'll just maybe try and use that then, that's class." And then he says, "Last thing," he said, "Have you got any advice, because I'm finding it really hard to stick to things doing it myself, and that's why I think if I start writing things down then I'll have, you know, a bit more self-accountability to stick to it and goals to aim for and such." He said, "But have you got any other tips or advice on how I can make myself stick to my training and my food a little bit more, other than just writing it down?" And I obviously struggled to answer that because there isn't any real answer, but the thought that was like going through my head, that was like screaming at me through my brain, was, you need a fucking coach, mate. Literally every single problem he described, like not having structure to his training, not knowing what to do with his food, keeping accountable to stick to everything, like that is like the 3 core pillars pretty much of what a coach will do for you, and obviously what we went through the first time and why he made more progress in a few months than he had in like the last few years. And I do get that the majority of people watching this and interested in fitness nowadays, because you are bombarded with information everywhere you look, you probably have a decent idea about training, in terms of you probably know all the basic exercises and you've probably got a good idea for the most part how to perform them, and some of you will have a bit better idea on how to properly structure your workout, some of you'll have a better idea of like further periodization, some of you'll understand the basic principles of thermodynamics and calories and being in a calorie deficit to lose weight and a surplus to gain weight, and some of you'll maybe have a decent idea of kind of where your macros should be in protein and all that stuff in order to build muscle and maximize your performance and all that type of thing. But if there's certain areas you're not sure about, and that may be what's holding up your progress, or you're just not happy with the progress you're making and do want more progress, then I don't quite understand why you still think that you're going to be able to do it on your own. Getting help with your training seems to be viewed different than almost every single other thing in life, even things that are deemed as a luxury as well. Like if you wanted some shelves or something put up in your house, yeah, you could go and try and do it on your own because you are capable of holding a drill in your hand and you know how to drill a hole and put a screw in it and following the instructions and can measure out where the holes are to go. And again, it maybe take you a long time to get there and you maybe make mistakes along the way, but you might actually be able to do it. You might not make a good job of it, but you may actually get somewhat of a success off it. But what most people are going to do in that situation is they're just going to pick up the phone a joiner and get them to come and do it in a fraction of the time, and you know that the job's going to be done right. And then there's certain other things that it's maybe a case of, right, I've got the thing I want, but I want to upgrade it. Like, you've not got a problem like paying for a new phone every year for the latest version because it's a better version, or a new laptop, or let's just say like you've got a wedding or whatever and you're like, oh right, okay, I'm going to go and get a new nicer suit, a cleaner suit, new shoes, whatever it is, to like be more presentable for the occasion. And again, it's like you're upgrading. But training seems to be different, and I don't know why, and I'm not quite sure why people seem to keep battering their head off the wall doing the same thing over and over and over again, getting no success, but then moaning about getting no success. If you can't get something on your own, you're going to have to get help, and it's no different than anything else that you've ever done in your life, in history, whether it be something you deem as like an essential thing or something that's a bit more of a luxury. And even if you just need a coach for the accountability because you know that if you're left to your own devices, you're going to be inconsistent, you're not going to get everything nailed as you should, and inevitably that's what holds up making you progress, then that's just what it's going to take. And if that's what it takes, so be it. Like, there's been plenty of situations in my life where I've had to get accountability from an outside source to keep me on track with the things that I need to do to achieve certain goals. And this is where the BMF program can come in and help you, which, if you don't know, which you all know because I've not shut up about it, is my 8-week low-cost group coaching program that's just designed to obviously get you making progress in the 8 weeks, but then set you up with a much better understanding of how to keep your training going forward on your own. The program is literally going to give you every single thing that you need to make progress. You're going to have access to training plans. You can pick from either a 3 or a 4 day a week plan, just depending on what suits you best, and both of them follow the systems that I've created that gets all my other clients' results, and it's customizable to fit with your direct physique goal. So let's just say you're a little bit on the beefy side, we can have it so that you're in a calorie deficit. If you're on the skinny side and you've been struggling to build muscle and that's what you want to finally be able to achieve, we can make it so you're targeting bulking up. And if you're happy with the sort of size you're at, decent level of body fat already and just want to improve on it, we can have you main gaining. All of that's going to be tracked on a comprehensive coaching log as well, and you're also going to have access to video libraries, technique library, which is going to give you a detailed technical breakdown for every single exercise within the program, and obviously you get to keep that. And also as well, you'll have a video library which has further sort of educational style videos, some of them that are an absolute essential must watch to help you with the program, and there are various ones that you can just watch in your own time that should further help with your training. You'll be in the Facebook group where we have weekly challenges, and you'll have access to the weekly live calls, which is where I take you through a live call and just basically go through an element of the program or element of training that's going to help you with the program that week, and hopefully try and have a wee bit of banter. And absolutely most of all, above all, it's a coaching program, which means you're actually getting access to me and I'm going to be coaching you through it. Although it's in a group environment, it's not just me giving you plans and going piss off and I'll see you in 8 weeks. You're going to be checking in with me every single week, so you're going to have that accountability and guidance to make sure that you stick to the plan and you are actually making improvements. And obviously you've got me on hand to make any changes and give you any feedback. And that's not just feedback in terms of the numbers and your gym and your food, it's also on your lifts as well, because something that is different from all the other group coaching programs out there is you do have the ability to send me your technique videos and I can review them and keep you right with your form as well, which is pretty much like mythical in group coaching programs. So it's not just a go away and do it plan, it's a coaching plan, and I am here to coach. And all the things that my client said they didn't have at the start, this is what this program's going to give you. And for the stupidly low cost of £99, which is over the 8 weeks, £12 a week, which is just mad that I'm giving it away so cheap. And I will put that against any other program out there, value for money. It's the best investment you can make, and again, it's only 8 weeks. It's not going to take over your full life. Hopefully it helps improve your life, but it's not going to take over your full life, and it's going to set you up long term, and you're now going to finally get training and understand the things you need to do on a consistent basis to move it forward, hopefully on your own, and you don't need to rely on that accountability anymore. And probably part of the reason that you have struggled to keep yourself going on your own previously is because of the lack of results. But we're going to change that all around, get you following my tried and tested systems, and just get you making progress to infinity and beyond. Link to sign on to the priority list is below, and by signing on to the priority list, that obviously gives you priority at Spaces and at the reduced early bird price of £99. If you wait till after the 2nd of September, then the price goes up to £150, and the Spaces close on September 6th. So you've got the 30th of August to September 6th to sign up, and then we start on the 9th of September. So I hope to see you in there. Obviously, if you watch this and you've got any questions, feel free to shoot me a message on Instagram, which is also linked down there below, but assuming everybody watching this is already going to be on my Instagram, so just shoot me a message. I'll see you in the next video or in the programme.